Welcome back to a special segment here on RCTV in the studio. Jacob Steinberg and David Judish wish you as we are going to break down the last Springford game. It was a packed final versus the PJP Panthers, and it was an incredible game, David.
Yeah, for sure. There were a lot of great drives and layups, a lot of three-pointers by Jacob Wynn himself.
Yeah.
Overall, well played. One of the closest games, actually, of the year for Springford itself. And we're just going to try to see what they can do at districts.
Yeah, so Jacob Nguyen had a crazy game. We'll get into the final shot in a little bit. So the Rams were down 13-10 after the first quarter. Then they were down by
2, I think, to end the half.
Yeah, they were down by 2. They had a buzzer beater at the end of the half, and then third quarter they outscored PJP by 9, and then the fourth quarter PJP outscored the Rams 12-8, and then that was unfortunately the ending. But it was a great game, a packed final. The Rams been there I don't know how many years in a row, but it's been a long time. So the Rams are familiar with that, and they're also familiar with districts, which will be coming up soon.
Right, yeah, just like you said, they've been in the PAC final situation for 20 years in a row, but their districts, man, I mean, they're really looking to go on to states, especially, I gotta say, key players, Sire Barnes stepping up for E.J. Campbell last year, one of the best players to even play in Springford history, and now he's taking that big role upon himself, and they've been just playing great as usual.
All right, let's take a look at some highlights from last game. We got our handy-dandy hand. So this is the start of the game, and this is how Rams got on the board with a Jacob Nguyen 3. You can see, David, Jacob Nguyen has been incredible for the Rams this season and his entire career at Springford.
Right, yeah, he's one of the best shooters in the whole PAC, maybe even in the state. I don't even know, but yeah, just nice screen there. Got the screen off Kelly. 2 defenders, no way, Jose. 3-ball money. Yeah,
he was big in that game. Also, Springford, you saw, used Kelly as a screen. He's been a really big player this season, too.
Yeah, he sure has. He's been really tall, getting a lot of the rebounds, been, a point forward for us, basically. He's a big man that can dribble the ball up the court. He can handle it, too, as well.
Yeah, I remember we were doing one of the pre-games in the regular season, and you compared him to Joel Embiid and Nikola Jokic, just being able to bring up the ball and having complete control. So let's continue our package
Yeah, I mean, honestly, what you said, I don't even know if I even would have gone with Embiid because he can't really dribble the ball up the court. He kind of fumbles all down.
So this was a couple free throws for how PJP got on the board. They played a really good game. The Rams, I think, were underdogs in this game, but it was a great game overall, and PJP were able to make their free throws and make their layups, which is why they won the game.
Yeah, they have one of the best drivers probably in the game, or maybe in the PAC, Aiden Wise. Very shifty, very fast, gets to the basket when he needs to, and PJP, he's stepping up for Dominic DeVito that they had last year, one of their best guards for PJP.
Yeah, so Barnes and Wise both playing in a role they were not accustomed to last year when they were both backups to other guards for their respective teams. Let's continue on here. So now we're in the second quarter, 2:40 to go. It's a tie game. It's in back and forth the entire game. And there's Wise. He's just had his way that entire game with the drives.
Yeah, Wise just having the ball at the top of the key. There he goes. Just got a little bit of an opening there towards the end. I mean, Marcilio tried to close it, but he was able to just get the finish to go. We've been leading this team the whole way through.
Yeah, this is him again, just at the top of the key, able to make the initial move on Sky Barnes. You talk about Barnes and Kennedy, both players who were not on the Springford team last year, and now they're being huge for them.
I mean, yeah, well, Barnes, he was on the Springford team last year. He was just on the JV.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but, Jack Kennedy, a big role player for us coming over here from Malvern Prep. He's been a great defensive player, and he's been shooting the ball well this year as well.
Yeah, so he really has. Springford can shoot the 3 with Nguyen, with Kennedy. Barnes can shoot it, so can Blake Turner. And they also have a deep bench with Marcilio and with Ian Patica and Luke Puffco, too.
Right, yeah, but one thing I think they could improve their game is, the pick and roll with Wynn and Kelly himself. Yeah. They've been doing great in transition. Wynn's been perfect almost behind the arc. What do you think about that?
Yeah, it could be a really dangerous duo if they really get that down. If Coach Dempsey continues to preach that, but I'm sure he has, though. Just maybe wins a little, wants to shoot maybe more.
Yeah,
but
right.
Let's continue on here.
Yep, as we see right here.
So now this is when the game is really huge. That's not Wise, excuse me, that's his counterpart. But the spin, the layup, and we see another look. This is what gave Panthers the lead.
I mean, what's his name? Tommy Kelly. He should be out that far. He should really be down in the paint, but nobody else could step up.
And just look at everyone in the stands. It was blackout for both these teams. It was incredible. I wasn't there, but I could hear over the broadcast, and you were there.
Yeah,
live.
I was sitting right down there.
It was so loud.
It was just incredibly loud. Both student sections, both wore blackouts today.
Yeah.
Or that
All right, let's continue on here. So now there's 45 seconds. Win, and he's just got his way the entire game. Had an incredible game. You can see how Coach Dempsey and the Springford Rams love it. It's just every time PJP scored, Springford answered.
As you break it down, Glenn isolation, one-on-one on Aiden Wise in the left corner, just makes his move to a spot and gets the layup to fall.
Yeah, just isolation, as you said. Now Marcilio is there calling for it, but Jacob Nguyen in this with 40 seconds to go with a chance to tie it, he's going to be taking the shot.
Right.
Here's another look.
PJP is going to try and keep the ball out of his hands. Just got to say that pivot move right inside.
Let's continue moving on here. So it goes PJP with the layup, then Springford back to the layup, now back to the Panthers, and a tie game. Now down to just 5 seconds in the drive by Weiss. He got contact, and Springford called a timeout. But look at this, just a drive.
Weiss just too quick, man. Just looks like this is the John Moran of high school basketball, basically. Just call situation, give him the ball, he'll get to the paint, and you can't just stop him.
So Springford had 3 timeouts. They called all 3 to get the perfect inbound play, and I thought it was a really good play. And let's take the final look. They're down 2, just a second to go, and Jacob Nguyen had a chance to win it.
So here, as we see the shot inbounded by Jordan Marcilio, Nguyen tried to get the contact, but did not get the foul call.
So take a look.
So he's a back screen. Kelly was open.
Yes, wide open. Can we pause it right here?
Pause it right, yep.
So you see Kelly is, let's take another look. So you can see.
There's a
Marcilio
back screen.
Will inbound. Back screen. It's a great play by Coach Dempsey. You have motion with Barnes. You have Kennedy right there, both kind of on the maybe a distraction here.
Your eyes, he's not even looking.
No, because you have 2 guys going to Jacob Nguyen. Everyone knows the ball is going to be in his hands, and you have Tommy Kelly right
wide
there.
Open.
He catches that. He's going to slam it, and we have overtime. Instead, Springford wants to go with the win, and let's just play it live.
As you play it live, Win off the catch. I don't know if there was enough contact where we could see there's a foul. Dempsey was pretty heated after the game.
Everyone on the Rams were, but
everybody
in high school you can't review anything, obviously. But just again, back screen, he was wide open. Throw it up right there. We've seen Tommy Kelly with so many dunks this season. But
why don't you just give the man the lob?
Yeah, exactly, right? But again, pass. Barnes then came across, maybe looking for the screen, and there was there was contact, no foul. But the Rams did lose 47-45. Just one last look. And an incredible game, and everyone knew in the Vikings gym, everyone knew that it was going to be Jacob Nguyen for the win. Just could not hit it.
Yeah, right. The best player on the team. Everybody knew that he was going to get the ball. He was going to get the ball in the first place. Overall, well-played game by both teams. PJP was able to come out on top with the Wise layup with 1 second to go. And here we are as we ended off with Jacob Steinberg alongside David Judas as we so long from RCTV. Oh, that was an unexpected.